Jeff Hardy, who checked into rehab for alcohol addiction back on June 21st after being suspended without pay by AEW following his felony DUI arrest, filed a written plea of not guilty on Tuesday in response to that arrest. He faces potentially up to 5 years in prison if convicted. As for why he would plead not guilty with so much evidence against him, including video evidence and the results of his breathalyzer, which registered a blood alcohol content of more than 3.5 times the legal limit in the state of Florida. Why would he do that? Why would he plead not guilty? Because it's standard to plead not guilty. Everybody who is complaining about this week, this is much ado about nothing. It does not mean that Jeff Hardy is trying to avoid responsibility for what he did. It's a tactic that simply buys him more time. It allows his lawyer more time to review his case and to explore his options, or they could try to cut a deal. But I saw a lot of outrage on social media about this. It's not that big of a deal. And it's to be expected that he would have pled that way. That's what his lawyer would have told him to do. Question is he going to actually do time this time for what he did? I think he should. But his lawyer is going to do everything in his power to make sure that doesn't happen. One person who wishes they had a lawyer who was going to do everything in their power to keep them out of jail is Tammy Sytch. The tale of Tammy continues. She lost her lawyer last week when he asked the court to allow him to step away as her counsel, and the court agreed. They granted his request because she's a fucking nutcase. Tammy then filed a petition with the court on Thursday seeking to be granted criminal indigent status, meaning that because she is without sufficient income to afford a lawyer for her defense, she is requesting a public defender, which she has since been granted. She is facing 1 count of DUI manslaughter, which is a felony, 1 count of causing death while operating a vehicle with a suspended or revoked license, also a felony, 4 counts of DUI causing injury to a person, and 3 counts of DUI causing damage to property. In her petition, Sytch stated that she has just $2,500 in bank accounts, she has 0 income, and has total liabilities and debts totaling $28,000, much of which I think is unpaid legal fees in other states, in other cases. So this is what she's claiming. This from a woman who only a couple of years ago claimed that she was in the top 1.8% of all creators on OnlyFans. I guess OnlyFans doesn't pay what it used to. But that's not all. There was a story in the Daytona Beach News Journal this week about the judge in the case warning Tammy's boyfriend about his behavior and threatening to hold him in contempt of court after he insulted the prosecutor. So on Thursday, the judge asked the Assistant State Attorney Ashley Terwilliger if James Pente, Tammy's boyfriend, had approached her that morning. And Terwilliger said, well, he didn't approach me, but he spoke to me. Not surprisingly, as I was passing by. What did he say? The judge asked. And Terwilliger said he called me a dirty expletive. They didn't say exactly what the word, you could pretty much, there's about 3 or 4 words that could have been in there. I don't know what the word was. But he called her a dirty blank, among other things that I did not fully catch. And the judge told Sytch to relay a message to her potty-mouthed boyfriend about his behavior. He said, so you understand, ma'am, if you want him to be present in court, this kind of behavior is absolutely unacceptable, and I will not allow him to be present if he is going to disrupt proceedings or be inappropriate or unprofessional or threatening in any manner. So if you talk to him, you let him know that this could rise to the level of contempt of court, and if he were to do something like that, I would go into proceedings to see if I would sanction him for his behavior at the courthouse. Tammy's next hearing is set for August 11th. Maybe her boyfriend can share a cell next to her if he keeps spouting off like that. Then he wouldn't have to worry about making any conjugal visits. He'd be right there. And here's a crazy story involving NWA star and current House of Glory women's champion Natalia Markova. After flying home from the recent NWA TV tapings, she realized that she had been robbed. She was flying with fellow NWA star Brian Idol, who goes by the name Mercurio. When they stepped off the plane, she realized that her purse was missing. And after having the airline double check that, to make sure it wasn't left on the plane, that's when she realized it was stolen. Idle asked Markova if she had AirPods in her purse, and she did. And because of that, they were able to use the Find My app from the App Store, which uses GPS to locate your device. They tracked the AirPods to a Walmart in Pinellas Park, Florida, 40 minutes away. They got to the store just as Markova received a fraud alert, a fraud text message on her phone that somebody was attempting to purchase a $700 TV using her credit card. Idle realized that that person must be at one of the cash registers, and he started looking around until he recognized the man who was also on their flight. He spotted him. And there's security footage of the incident. The NWA, I think, even shared it on their social media page. Idle can be seen confronting the man. He's got a face mask on, this guy. He confronts the man. The man then tries to flee. He tries to run away, and Idle chases after him. He left Markova's credit card sitting at the register. So he's trying to flee. Idle chases him down, tackles him to the ground. Police arrived after getting a phone call about a fight in the store, and according to the police report, after speaking with Idle and Markova and the thief, the man was placed under arrest. Idle told the arresting officer that as long as all of Markova's items were returned to her, she would not press charges against him. The man told them that the purse was turned into the American Airlines information desk at the airport, and then he admitted that he had taken $600 from the purse, as well as the credit cards and the AirPods inside, and he returned the stolen items to her. And Markova declined to press charges against the man, and the guy apologized for stealing the money and the cards, and he said he knew it was wrong, and he was later released after no active warrants for him were found, and the case is now considered closed. He may not be so lucky the next time he pulls a stunt like that. But I'm glad that she got all of her belongings back. Brian Idle, a real-life Batman.